Hello everyone.
Hello.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Tally.
And we are
the Lazy Book Lovers.
This is a podcast. This is very on brand. This is a podcast for book lovers who procrastinate about reading and have never-ending to-be-read piles. Today's episode is our 100th episode! Did you think we would get here? Because we sure didn't.
No, I did not.
So, for our 100th episode, even though none of you asked us to, no one cares, we're doing a Q&A.
Yeah, but we haven't done one since...
It's got to be in the
50th
40s or 50s. Like, we haven't done it for a while.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's probably people listening that weren't listening then.
Yes, hopefully. Hopefully we have new people. We do have some dedicated listeners that I hear about through the grapevines that are friends of people that we know or say, hi, we love you.
I think, like, we don't do as many indie episodes now, which I think was our majority of our listeners. So we need, maybe in 2024, that's going to be our goal, to get back on that.
We made some big promises for 2023, so...
Oh, but 2023 has just been... Whew,
Yeah, busy.
It's over soon, don't worry.
It's been so busy. Like, I blinked and lost a year.
Yeah, and you had to get a new job, and I've had to get jobs. And...
the New Human came last year.
Yeah.
Technically. But it was moving around this year.
Yeah, it was just a little put in a carry case and get on with life last year. She was on the podcast with us.
Yeah. I don't know what numbers those are. It must be around the 70s, I think. They're maybe baby.
But now, she is the chattiest little
Yeah.
Bobs ever. So
She has a lot to say.
Oh, she does.
I can't wait till she talks.
Yeah, she's so close. She says Dada. She says her brother's name. She said Mama twice.
Oh.
But the other day she clearly said no to me. And I was like, don't you dare.
Well, it's a good job, baby. Well done.
Yeah.
Set boundaries.
Do not dare say no to me.
Set boundaries, just not with me.
She's just got screams. And they mean different things. And we all know what they mean. She runs our household. Even my son does what she says. She's literally in charge of our household. She's got you all
under her thumb.
She's the little princess.
Well, because she's all cute and smiley, and you're just like, oh, I'll do something for you.
And if you don't do what she wants straight away, she will scream, and it's a horrible sound. So we all just do it. She just bullies us.
Being held hostage by your not toddler.
I never thought my son would do what she says, but even he's like,
maybe
yes,
you need to get her to the point where she's talking, and then she can be like, brother, go to bed.
Brother,
go to bed. Don't get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, this morning.
Go back to sleep, brother. I pre-planned a tangent just because I want to talk about it.
Okay, go on.
I saw the new Hunger Games film.
Oh,
it's very good. It's very close to the book.
Yeah, I wanted to see that, but I've yet to read the book, so it's not going to happen. I'll wait till it comes out on Netflix or whatever.
No, it's very good. It's very close to the book.
Is it long?
2.5 hours.
Fuck that.
But
I'm not watching it at the cinema.
But it doesn't feel like 2.5 hours. It's quite tense.
Yeah. Because
what they've not tried to do is shoehorn this into PG-13 this time.
Okay.
So it's actually quite scary. Some of the deaths are quite graphic. Someone at work was like, I didn't like how graphic the deaths were. It's nothing like the original films. And I was like, that's because they dumbed the films down to fit a YA dystopian audience that just wasn't going to it. I was like, the actual books are really horrific.
I mean, it's children being killed for entertainment.
I was like, it's children being murdered for entertainment. I was like, what?
Would you?
What? How can they not make that graphic? And she was like, they didn't show the deaths the way that they did in these films. And I was like, alright, but it's very good.
Yeah,
recommend.
My mum bladder would not be able to do a 2.5 hour film anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've not had children, but I peed immediately before, and that got me through.
I'm already regretting not going for a safety wee before we started recording.
Yeah, you're only on one layer of blanket. Oh no!
I'm gonna wear myself. Don't worry, I wear mum nappies. Right.
Okay. To the Q&A. Say if you've just joined for our 100th Q&A and you're like, what? Why are they just chatting nonsense? We tangent. We've decided it's part of the brand and not because neither of us can focus. It's definitely on purpose.
We couldn't control it,
so we made it on purpose.
Yeah.
So,
tell me, or rather ask me.
All right. I think maybe we take turns answering them.
Yeah.
So I've got, how did you guys meet?
For a friend.
Yeah, so...
I was like, how do you can take this one?
You're...
So long ago, I don't remember anymore.
My childhood friend, worked at the same job as you, and it was a really big company, and you all used to go out to big parties together, so that's how we met. And then when we became friends, is I had a really long shift at the cafe, and I put a Facebook status. This is how long ago this was.
Yeah, I was using Facebook.
Also, I did a Facebook status saying, I feel really wired after work. Anyone free? Can you imagine doing that now?
No.
And you commented saying, yeah, I'll message you. And then you were like, do you want to go out for a drink in Old Town?
And then that was it.
Yeah. And then we trauma dumped on each other.
Yeah, and I think
got really
that's
drunk.
when we discovered that we both read as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
trauma
it.
dumped.
We basically got drunk and taught trauma dumps.
That's how we bonded. God, that was ages ago as well.
That was... Like, we are coming up for like 10 years or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I was in my second year or first year of university. I reckon it was first year.
I think I was 25 when I'm 35 now.
Yeah,
so yeah,
so we're coming on 10 years. Because we've known each other a while before that dude that tried to date both of us unsuccessfully.
Unsuccessfully.
Because Natalie wised up to it before I did, but anyway. Stupid dude. Hope you listen. Probably don't. And that was my second year of uni, so we must have met in my first year of uni.
Yeah. Well, if you were working at the cafe, it would have been in the holidays, wouldn't it? Between the two.
Yeah, that's a good point. That must have been my first summer there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I did there every summer and break, like Christmas and Easter, where they had the work.
Yeah. There we go then.
There you go.
Wow.
So, what made us decide to start a book podcast?
Was this like during the lockdown and we were both like, I would quite like to start a podcast. I started one during lockdown and I managed about 3 episodes, but I found it really hard to do the recording and editing while my toddler son was at home.
Yeah.
And then we both kind of messaged each other on just in a chat, and then we went for a coffee and we were like, we should actually do it. Is that right?
I think it was. I took 3 months to listen to your podcast. After you sent me it, I finally listened.
Did you listen?
I took a while after you were like, here's the episode. I was like, great, I'll listen straight away. And then like 3 months later, I think I messaged you to be like, oh my god, I listened, I loved it. Are you going to do more? Seen you haven't posted in a while, so sorry it took me so long to listen. And then you said all the issues you were having. And then I was like, haha, we should do one together. And then we just didn't say anything for about 2 days, I think.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember if you came back first or I did, and was like,
but actually. I think that was me, actually. I think I was like, but are we going to? Or?
And I think I was like, I was going to say that.
Yeah, and then we went for a coffee and it was like lockdown had just lifted a little bit.
I think so.
We went to Costa, didn't we? And
had
a chat about it. And we were like, okay, let's just do it before either of us change our mind or life gets in the
Yeah,
way.
and we decided to like do it properly, so we thought about like branding and colours, and we got all of that set up first. Like, we tried to do it properly.
And the first few episodes were done over Zoom as well.
Yeah, they were. Before, we kept being up till like 11 PM because Bubba used to get up and interrupt.
Not even a baby, but Bubba. Now I got different Bubba.
Yeah, so we had a whole new Bubba.
Yeah. I gridded it.
You gridded it. You made it yourself.
I can put it on Etsy.
Homemade. This kind of feeds nicely into my next question, which I may need to answer.
Go for it.
How hard is it to find time to record around work? So we used to do various weekends, and now we're doing sort of a hodgepodge of, if I have a bank holiday, we use the bank holiday.
Yeah,
if I have a day off, I'll give up an afternoon or a morning.
We used to literally record them like one a week, and then now we've had to go to batch recording because it's the only way we can do it.
Yeah, so you'll kind of come for when I finish work, and then we'll power through a couple, and then you have to race back 2 children. And that's just we kind of do it whenever there's time.
Yeah, I always think, like, I wish we could count this as work as in, like, we
got paid for
financially, made money from it. Because I do count it as work.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this would have to be the first thing that dropped off if we just couldn't, if something had to give.
Yeah.
Because we're not making money from it, and it's a shame.
And it is.
I think we should.
It's something I'm really proud of this. Like, I'll talk about it. I used to be really embarrassed in the beginning, but now I'll just talk about it to everyone. I was like, on my podcast.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, we've got 1,000 listeners, and I'm like, no.
We may not have a lot of listeners, but we've got 100 episodes, and that's impressive.
Yeah. And we did a thing. I don't care. Even if this, like, doesn't take off ever, I'm like, we did a thing.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if we could make money from it.
Yeah.
Please, guys, this is where you guys come in. Rate. And like us and share us, please.
Yeah, if you want to help us grow, please review/rate us wherever you listen to podcasts, because it will really help us find new listeners as well.
And a lot of your platforms, you can set them to, like, auto download our episodes. So even if, like, you forget, it will do it for you.
I do that.
Great.
In fact, I auto download our own episodes.
What do we do for our jobs?
I think you should go first.
I work as a digital marketing executive. It's my new job for a B2B company. I don't know why I'm trying to be secretive. You could literally find me on LinkedIn and find out where I work.
Yeah.
So I just do marketing full time. I'll do stuff.
And then I do social media / I guess digital marketing / content writing.
Content creation?
Content creation, yeah. Freelance for a couple of different clients. And then I've just started domestic cleaning as well.
To get some Christmas dollar.
I occasionally make pittances from my personal content creation as well.
Oh, you started getting invited to influencer events.
Yeah,
what's happening?
Influencers don't make as much money as you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really need to get to like 10,000 followers on TikTok so I can start making money on there. So come follow me.
Where you guys come in.
Yeah.
I mean, this doing stuff about, like, because I have a blog that I run, which I currently make no money from. Which I don't.
Oh, I also have an Etsy shop.
Yeah,
it's been closed for the summer holidays. It's going to reopen soon.
Yeah, I have a blog that I'm like, if this could be my job, this would be amazing. But I'm never gonna get full-time work from a blog that I run for fun.
You'd have to have really high traffic for the sponsorships, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was going to start up like an exclusive subscriber thing, and then I was Googling it, and they were like, don't even bother till you get 1,000 visitors a day. And I was like, I get them.
Calm down.
I get 1,000 in a month. Well,
although you're doing really well with your blog now. All your hard work's finally paying off.
Slowly but surely, yeah, it is climbing up there. I made the Google gods happy. And all you have to do is do it once, and then the Google gods keep liking you.
I realised my blog's been doing really bad, and it's probably because I've not posted all year.
That's probably...
I think there's a correlation there.
Yeah, correlation.
Correlation, I said thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I've just started to hit, like, over 1,000 views a month.
Yeah, you just got to do that a day.
Yeah, just do that every day. They were like, don't even bother. And I was
don't even think about
I think it was like 10,000 a month, another one said. And I was like, I'm just going to hit like 10,000 for the year.
Yeah, what are you chatting about?
I was getting really excited, and that really brought me down back down. I was like getting too big for my boots, and that brought me back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think like my goal would be to be in a position where we could have a Patreon for this podcast. I think that'd be lovely. I don't know what we would offer you, but at some point that's the plan, I think.
Wow, we'd find time for extra recordings if we were making money.
Yeah, like a more casual bonus recording, or you'd get the episode early, or I don't know. Or we would do a Patreon exclusive Discord /book group. There's lots of options. I think
I'd love to have video as well.
We wanted to do something like that this year, but this year has been non-existent in terms of following through with our goals. We've just maintained, which is a plus.
We did
well
a lot
done
of
us.
stuff.
We maintained, and
we
could
did a
have
lot of stuff at
easily
the start of
dropped
the year.
off.
We did launch the YouTube. That was a goal for this year, and we actually kept that up.
Yeah,
I redid the website.
Yes. I occasionally post on Instagram.
We started a TikTok. We've never posted.
Okay, we're going to do that next year, season 2.
Yeah,
we've decided we're going to go to season 2. It's going to be TikTok.
Where is that?
Dreams.
Okay. Let me do one more get to know us one, and I'll switch to the bookish ones we got submitted.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who submitted.
Okay. Or what things have changed in life / generally personally for you over the time we've been recording?
I grew and birthed and had another child.
That's pretty big.
I think I got the cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in a global pandemic.
Yeah,
came
that
out
also happened. Yeah, kind of all the things we already mentioned.
Yeah. I got made redundant, and then I started a new job.
You have a partner?
Yeah, I just started dating someone after being like.
And I finally met him.
Yeah, he's real.
And you turned 30.
Oh yeah, I just turned 30.
30's like the 0 numbers are considered big numbers. I don't really know why, but yeah.
I don't. Everyone around me who's turning 30 is really existential about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm completely fine with this. I don't know.
I think I probably would have been, except I was literally like 2 weeks off giving birth, so
Yeah.
I didn't really have the chance.
Yeah.
But I remember when I turned 25, I had a lot of shit going on in my life then. But I was like, I'm a third of the way through my life because I have no intention of living past 75. And I'm really depressed.
So bleak.
And my dad was like, no, come on, say it's a quarter of the way through your life. I was like, no, it's a third. But yeah,
It's when I worked out that I turned 30, right? And then I've been working since I was 15. So I've already worked for half of my life.
Depressing, isn't it?
Because obviously I had 2 months where I was looking for a new job. I had 2 months not working. And it's the first time I had...
really freeing.
Yeah, it's the first time I've not worked since I was 15.
Yeah.
And when you have always worked or been quite a busy person, or had uni, or I was travelling, like, it just was a glimpse into the quality of life one can have.
If one is born in the right circumstances.
Yeah, like, eating 3 meals a day that are good. Sleeping enough, wearing clothes I want to wear, not talking to people I don't want to talk to. Just been like, I need something from town, and I can just go to town. Yeah, just being able to, just live well.
So
I'm not living my life to make sure I can get through work well. Because a lot of my time is spent prepping so I stay healthy whilst working.
Yeah. When I was looking for another job, I did flirt with the idea of an office role or retail, and I decided that actually out of all of the jobs I could do that are available to me currently, I would rather clean people's homes
you haven't got to talk to
than
anyone.
deal with any of that shit again.
Yeah. It's dealing with the public.
Yeah, and it pays better.
I'm just not... Office small talk is not my forte, because I'd rather jump off a bridge.
I do not want the ridiculous rules that don't make sense. They're like the rules that my child has at school that I disagree him having at school. And then you give them to fully grown adults?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was
No.
I was talking to someone about tattoos and stuff, and I was like, I don't understand why having pretty pictures on my skin denotes whether how well I can do my job.
It shows that you're quite patient, in
Yeah.
my opinion. It's a positive.
Yeah.
And at some point, you were able to save a lot of money. So when you put your mind to something, you follow through.
Or like how you dress, or the colour of my hair can dictate how professional
And
I am,
piercings.
quote marks, and piercings, quote marks, how professional I am. I was like, how about if I just turn up and do my job well?
Well, we all know why.
Mm.
Capitalism.
But I was just like, I can't wait for it to die. I was talking to, it was an
Yeah.
old lady at my new
Should
job.
be done soon.
I was like, I can't wait for this to die, because it just doesn't exist with my generation generally.
No, and there's a lot of businesses that could not adapt during the pandemic and have now had to go under and stuff. So, yeah, because the generation that are happy to do it are dying off or retiring because they
Or
are
going
they are
part-time.
able to retire, unlike the rest of us.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
our generation, like millennials, we're just fucked for life. But the generations below, you're doing good stuff. I love it.
But it's just also, it's the realisation that I can do my job just as well on my sofa in my pyjamas as I can in a drafty office, uncomfortable in uncomfortable clothing.
And in fact,
thanks
you
to-
probably do less work because there's other people distracting you all the time.
Yeah. And like, the kitchen's on another story of the building or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or you have to go out to go and
Yeah.
get your food and da.
Yeah. So it's sort of, the pandemic also was like, made me realise
It
this
made
is
a
all
lot
a
of
lie.
people realise.
It's all a lie.
Yeah.
So let's move on to bookish questions.
Yeah. I read sometimes. I like books.
That is the point of this podcast. Okay, cool. Alright.
All right then.
Alright.
Alright.
Let me scrolly scroll.
In case you didn't know, we're British.
And when you're like, I do want a bottle of water, when Americans are trying to do a British accent, there are so few of us that don't say the T.
Do you know how long it took me to understand what you just said then? 'Cause I
Yeah.
was like, what is she even
And that's
saying?
That's what Americans do when they're like trying to
Yeah.
do, and I know we have a lot of American listeners. Do you want a bottle of water? I'm like, that's not how we sound. The ones of us who do miss the T, which we are kind of part of, but both of us sort of edited it out.
Yeah.
We are part of that region, but we've stopped doing it probably because of retail. and
My
phone
son
jobs.
has said it a few times from his friends at school, and I'm like, "There's a T in there, darling."
Water,
Yeah.
but even then, like, there's water. You are saying the T.
Yeah.
Bottle.
The
Bottle.
T's there.
Bottle. See.
Oh.
And I was like, also that's like just a shit southern accent. It's not even like a London accent.
No.
It's just I hate this word, but common London, like southern accent.
Yeah.
Common. Chavvy, if you want to use that word. There, I hate that word
No.
because it's not a real thing.
I despise that word. If anyone is interested in the origins of the word chav,
She actually read a book
there's
about
a
it.
book. I read.
It's reviewed in one of our reading
Yeah.
updates. And I
can't
can't remember
It's
which
called
one.
something chavs. Like
Yeah, you did. It was one of your
It was really, really
non-fictions.
good. I need to reread that actually. I think.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay, so what books or book have we read over the time we've been recording that we love so much that we can go back to it and read it over and over without getting bored?
Okay, so I can answer for you.
Oh yeah, we know my answer's so obvious.
Sarah J. Maas universe and A.K. Mulford universe.
Yeah.
They're your hyperfixations for life, I think.
Gia Akatar has really endured, and I'm aware these aren't great works of fiction. However,
They do what you need them to do.
it's fey, it's spicy. Their characters go on journeys. At the time, I was not mentally doing so hot, and it was like free therapy, and so they mean special things to me, and it just is what it is.
It makes me wonder. So, like, I read them, for me, relatively close together.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy them. Obviously, I was aware of a lot of the I could critique it, but I enjoyed it. And as Tony said, I enjoyed it. But I expected to feel that way about Fourth Wing, and I didn't. So it makes me wonder if I read them now, would I just not be... Maybe it was just the perfect headspace for them when I read them, if you know what I mean.
So I read the series. My granddad was very poorly, and it was quite a stressful time at work, stressful time at home. Our dog had died, and then I went on holiday by myself, and I spent all of the holiday reading the entire series
just in a
back
different
to back.
world.
Yeah, I was just sort of like a sun potato, or in my room, or at dinner, or on a beach to watch the sunset, but all the time reading ACOTAR.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why. Yeah, and then Nesta's story, obviously, I read later because that hadn't come out, I don't think, or it was coming out, or
I can't remember.
I read it later anyway, but not much after.
Yeah, so I read them when we were still in lockdown. It was that Christmas we were in lockdown. I read them then because I remember I stayed up on New Year's Eve. I wanted to go to bed at like 9, and I stayed up till about 1 a.m. because I wanted to finish ACCA Math.
Yeah.
And I had like 200 pages. And
ACCA Math is still my favourite.
Yeah.
I don't know, I like Nesta's story as well. I really love it, but it's long as fuck.
Yeah, and then Nesta's story, which is the A Court of Silver Flame.
Yeah.
My friend gifted me for my birthday, and she'd annotated it, and then I read it, and it was just so magical, and I think like the timing of them was just so perfect, and I'm glad I read them then, because I do think if I read them now, I would probably enjoy them, but I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. Yeah, and I wouldn't have got anything out of it, I don't think.
Yeah.
For me, I will reread them, but I wouldn't say they're like big reread.
Well, I obviously have them on Audible, so I haven't reread, but they've been my nighttime. Yeah, they've been my nighttime sleep listen, on and off, pretty much.
So for me, what was it like? Books you'd reread?
Books you could read over and over that we haven't read over the time we've been recording.
So anything from the Grishaverse. Yeah. Because I think next year I would like to start off near the beginning of the year rereading Six of Crows at least.
On that note, TV show's been cancelled, and I'm very fucking mad.
And I don't know why. Because Netflix just cancelled everything.
Yeah, but they are doing a Witcher side series with 6 thieves. You go on a heist.
Even though no one cares about Witcher anymore because it's not got the proper Geralt in it.
Yeah, but if you look at all the characters, it's pretty much Six of Crows but Witcher. So.
And Skullduggery will get a reread as well. Yeah. I've only got 1 book left, and then I'm going to reread it because I want to annotate it. So next year we will obviously probably do a goals at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But this year I wanted to slow down on my reading. It's not happened. Next year I want to slow down on my reading.
Yeah.
I want to just like appreciate, annotate, enjoy the books I'm reading, rather than read a lot. Not that there's anything wrong with reading a lot. I don't know what I'm saying. But.
Well, you're kind of reading for escapism, so maybe not taking them in, reading them quite rapidly.
Yeah.
Not to psychoanalyze you.
I think that I would quite like next year to try and have less on the go at once.
Yeah. Your current reads at Storygraph makes me want to cry.
I discussed this with my partner this morning. My current reads is something like 48 or something.
51 last time I looked at it.
Oh shit, okay. And I haven't actually put some up there that I am reading. And I was saying to my partner this morning, I think in December I'm not going to have any set books. I have like 2 book tours that I'm taking part in December. And then the rest of December, I just want to try and clear that because I would quite like to start the year with 0. So I'm either going to finish them or DNF them. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because I've got a shelf full of them all, and they're half finished or not even like whatever. Yeah. Some of them are 80% finished. Some of them are like 1 chapter in. I've got to either DNF them or I've got to finish them and start January with nothing in my currently reading.
Believe in you.
I
don't. Okay, so which book or series would you most like to see adapted for TV or film, and why? I don't actually want them to do ACOTAR because I think they'll ruin it.
No, they've been working on it for years, and I just don't think it's going to be good.
I don't think they're ever going to stand up to all of that fan art. All of that fan fiction, they're never gonna hold up to it.
They're never gonna cast the right people.
No.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I would like to see a animated TV show of Skullduggery.
Oh, that would be so
I don't want like
they won't get the
live
skeleton,
action.
yes. They won't get Skullduggery right, I
Yeah,
don't think.
I don't want live action. I would love animated.
Yeah, that would be
Love.
so good.
And I would like it to be a TV show, not a film.
Mm.
And I would like it to not be on Netflix because they will cancel it.
And we've got 15 books. I want 15 fucking series.
Yeah, maybe Amazon, if you could pick it up, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think I was really looking forward to the Six of Crows spin-off of Shadow and Bone. I was only watching it for the crows. And it's never... Also, I'd love like an arc. Can you imagine a film per book? I think that series that I've been trying to make you read for years now, Carve the Mark, I think that would make an amazing film or TV show. It's only 2 books. Just because, like, of all the time they're in space and all the imagery of that, and like the current, which is like their magic, they call it the current. You can see it kind of like an Aurora Borealis kind of thing, but in space, and it's like a thread through space.
That sounds cool.
And there's like a water world they go to, and I just think I just think that'd be great. The imagery would be great on film. But that obviously never got big enough, I reckon.
Speaking of that, the Wayward Children series, I would like to see that adapted. I don't know.
I think
I don't
Fourth
know
Wing
if they
is
could.
perfect to turn into TV. That's literally been written, so it could be probably
Would you want it as a TV show or a film?
TV. It would need to be a series, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to rush through all the training and stuff, which I guess you didn't enjoy, but yeah.
Even Rocky had a montage. A montage.
Okay.
Would she wear a dressing gown?
Just let it go.
Or an ID.
Just let it go.
Yeah. I will let it go.
Which author would you most like to meet in real life?
I've had the opportunity to meet a few authors now.
Yeah,
I've
you
been
have.
very lucky. Very lucky.
I'd love to meet A.K. Mulford.
Yeah. I think I would like to meet them. I would like to meet Terry Pratchett.
I would have
always,
loved to have met
but
Terry Pratchett, yeah.
I've got to wait till I die and then hope for the best.
I think Lee Bardugo would be fun to meet.
Yeah.
We've met Derek Landy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would be on that list,
Yeah.
but I have met him
We've
twice now.
yeah.
And he stands up to who I thought he would be, and I was so happy about that.
Going back to the previous question, I just saw.
Did you just load?
I just saw the selection series, and I would love to see that as a TV show because it's.
I'm surprised it never got
it's-
made into one.
It's been optioned a few times. It's just popcorn fun, and I think it'd be a really fun TV show.
There's rumours of Shatter Me becoming a
Ah.
TV series, but I think it'll be a HBO exclusive, so we won't be able to get it.
Oh, you can probably watch it on Now TV then.
Yeah, but I'll buy another bloody package.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, A.K. Mulford, Lee Bardugo.
I think back in the day when I was really into her, Cassandra Clare, now I'm not as first. Because also she's done some dodgy stuff.
Yeah. She's just.
But I loved those books back in the day. Actually, I still love those books at the start of recording.
And maybe I might like to meet Emily Henry.
Oh, yeah, I reckon she'd be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's about it. All mostly females.
Oh, yeah. Miss Terry Pratchett.
Imagine if we got to meet Stacey McEwen. Or
Oh,
McEwen. I don't know how to spell it.
McEwen, yeah, she never says her surname on the thing.
I would pronounce it as McEwen.
So we're now just staring at our bookshelf
Yeah.
trying to find who we... Because we don't
Basically,
remember anything we've ever
Just
read.
a bunch of indie authors would be my dream.
Because you've met Olivia Blake, because otherwise that would be your top one, wouldn't it?
I've had so many more special editions of books around. Okay. I've got a new obsession. I haven't even told you this.
Okay.
Like,
What's your new hyperfocus?
Okay, Susan Dennard, I would love to meet you if you ever come to UK. You had to cancel your UK tour, which made me sad.
Who's she the author of?
Okay. The Luminaries?
Yeah, I remember you talking about this recently.
Okay, and then immediately I read the second book.
Which is incredible for you.
And it's just come out. It came out at the beginning of this month. So now I've got to wait like a year for the third book.
And that never
it's going to be a
happens to you, does
trilogy.
it?
No, and I'm already ready to reread them. I'm going to reread them.
Okay.
I'm obsessed. This is it. This is my...
Yeah, I've got
this
them on
is
a
mine.
list somewhere.
This is my avatar.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got like 25% of the way through book 1, and I'd been talking about it so much, my partner reserved it from the library. Because he was like, okay, I'm going to have to check this out, because you were just... He was like, you're just beaming. You're obsessed. And I was like, I am. I'm obsessed with this.
See, I wish my partner would go along with hyper focuses. He got a 20-minute lecture about Hunger Games and didn't appreciate it at all.
Did he not? Why?
No, I don't know why.
Disgraceful.
Fucking
Go
rude.
back and listen to our Hunger Games episode.
He's not a big fan of the franchise, and I was like,
Go back and listen to our Hunger Games.
why the frick did you come see the film with me? And you said you were so excited.
Oh, why are you a fan of the franchise?
It's not his thing, but he doesn't,
Okay,
he
that's
doesn't
fair
like read dystopian fiction, so I was like, of course you don't like it. Doesn't like YA, doesn't like dystopian.
Yeah, it's not really. What about Battle Royale? Have you
That's one of the reasons.
read or watched Battle Royale?
That's one of the reasons he's a prejudiced against it, because of it being stolen.
Oh, okay. Did you not listen to our Hunger
said to
Games
him, I was like, no, I need to
episode?
debunk that. And he was like, how do you know? I was like, it's in our Hunger Games episode. I can't remember why it's not true, I just know it's not true. Anyway, alright. Have you ever visited a place because you read about it in a book?
No, but if I ever went to America, I would go to Forks.
Yeah. I've been on the Harry Potter train. I've been to a lot of Hunger Games, not Hunger Games, Game of Thrones places.
Oh.
But film locations, obviously. Filming locations, because a lot of it was done in Dubrovnik.
Okay.
So can't remember things. Cersei's City,
Yeah.
whatever that is called, that is based on Dubrovnik.
Is that like Dragon Force? Oh, it could... No.
No.
I don't remember.
I don't remember anything else. I'm so
No.
sorry. Someone's probably screaming in their head at us. I went there, and then by accident recently, I went to where they filmed some scenes from the new series, House of Dragon.
Okay,
That garden I went to on my last holiday,
Yeah.
that pretty garden, was filmed there apparently.
Oh.
Because they had a whole map of like, here, where's to find things from House of Dragon.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So that was cool. Not on purpose, not from a book technically. But...
Yeah, I would go to Forks if I went to America. That would have to be planned into my trip. Twilight, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
I
I don't read a lot of things that have been set in the UK, to be honest. Or like,
Yeah, and I don't read a lot of things that are set in real life. Like in our world.
You guess New York. I've read a bunch of books set in New York. So,
Yeah.
if you could travel,
Oh, but I would also love to see all of the Hobbit stuff in New Zealand.
Yeah, that would
Obviously,
be
it's
fun.
not. A Hobbit's not based in, or Lord of the Rings not based in New Zealand, but it is.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Unofficially.
Yeah.
okay, so if you could travel to like a made-up world and live there, or just go on holiday there, where would you go? I don't think
That's a good question.
we don't read pleasant enough books for that.
I don't think I'd want to go anywhere. Maybe visit, but I'd probably get killed off. I don't really know.
Velaris sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you see that video? Those girls, you're probably not on Akatar TikTok as much as I am.
No.
These girls went on holiday to somewhere and they were like, oh my god, we found Velaris. And honestly, I can't remember where they were, but the city they filmed, it looks exactly like how I pictured Velaris. They were like full on like Akatar. They found it by accident and they were fully sobbing, and I was like, this is so pretty.
You're like, that'd be me.
Yeah. So wherever that is, maybe there.
A world that I would like to visit where I wouldn't be killed.
Beach read. The lake sounds quite nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice for a visit.
Nice little visit to the lake.
I don't know, we read too much fantasy.
I don't.
And
It's all
like, none of them are
fancy,
treated
and
well.
It's all places I don't want to go.
And we're all both looking at books now.
Let me look at. I should look at my story graph and see what I've read.
I mean,
because I'm also
the
like
Fairyland in what do we call it, Cruel Prince series.
Oh yeah.
That would be fun, but we'd definitely die.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'd love to go to Viv's coffee shop in Legends and Lattes, but I also don't want to be killed off. So yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look in our little.
I'm just gonna have a mooch. A moochy mooch.
Loading.
I read too many depressing things.
That's what I mean.
Perfectly honest.
You want to go to the murder hillside with the vines that kill you?
That sounds so relaxing.
Good for fitness.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would go to somewhere in a Discworld. That might be fun. I wouldn't want to stay there. I would visit. Yeah, I think maybe that.
Yeah. Oh, I think some of the places in the Bridge Kingdom would be kind of nice.
I was thinking that, but I've only read the first book.
So that's like a tropical island.
The rest of it would be quite nice as well.
I mean, the bit where they're in a prison underground.
I don't think
not for
that.
me. What's some of those locations?
So I would say
Caraval. I think it would be fun to be at Caraval, not taking part.
Oh, do they have people just watch?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Oh,
I've read a few books this year, haven't I?
You've read a fucking ton of books.
Yeah, I don't think I've done my pages goal yet, though.
I was mooching on your profile for some reason.
1,400 pages behind.
Not that
If
bad.
I finally finish those books, I've probably done it.
Yeah. Okay. What ignited your passion for books / reading, or was there a particular book that got you into reading that you can remember being like the moment?
I think it was The Edge Chronicles.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been a reader, but I think like reading The Edge Chronicles when I was 14 was what really pushed me into reader. Like, you know what I mean? Like, avid reader. And then I stopped.
Yeah.
For ages. And just, it was like one book a month. So I didn't stop, but for me it felt like I stopped. But for some people, one book a month is still a lot. And then, because I was all depression station, so I just didn't read at all. And then when I met my partner, I just started reading again. So there we go. Yeah,
I feel like whenever I've been a big reader has mostly correlated to when I'm doing well or getting well.
Yeah. And I would have thought it'd be the opposite, but no. I think because hobbies tend to drop off when you're not feeling good or when you're mentally unstable. So yeah, The Edge Chronicles, which hopefully we will be reading together soon, and then you will hear a lot about that in upcoming episodes.
Yep.
And then just everything, and then everything.
Yeah.
I just started reading everything again.
So, when we're talking when I was a kid, because where I'm just a bit younger than you, it would have been Harry Potter, unfortunately.
Yeah.
How that author turned out to be.
I mean, Harry Potter, really, really good for getting started reading.
Yeah. And then, as a teenager, like, what kicked me into, like, the fantasy realm was definitely Garth Nix, Sabriel, that series, the Ab Horson series.
And I guess that would have been the age range, maybe, that you were quite into YA dystopia, because that would have been really pushing that.
Yeah, that's probably what the first thing I read that kicked me into that.
Yeah.
But I read more of these things in my first year of uni than I did, like, when I was living at home. Not for a particular reason.
No, just life.
When I just had a lot more free time. Yeah, I was going to say, when I read that question, I was like, what kicked you into reading? Depression.
Yeah. But it was actually the opposite.
No. And then, I went through like a not reading much for quite a few years. I think ACOTAR was definitely one of the series. It was around the time we were doing the podcast that really got me like wanting to read. Because I hadn't read anything where I fell into the world for a long time.
I think the pandemic really helped.
Yeah.
Because I had just had time to do it. So I did.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I was discovering all these new authors, like indie authors, and it was just a really... I think
this podcast has made a huge difference too, because obviously it exposes me to so many more authors and books than I would have seen otherwise.
Yeah, and we get to talk about books more.
And we make rec lists for things. All the indie authors.
I'm not like glamorising the pandemic in that time,
No.
but I understand how for a lot of people it was a kind of a good time because they were able to just spend time on hobbies or whatever, didn't have to work and could, learn what life could be. But I also am completely aware that for other people it was absolute hell, so I'm not saying.
I just left a horrible job and had started my last job at the week we locked down, and I was reduced to 2 days a week. So that whole period of time I actually don't remember much of because like that horrible job it took some getting over, basically.
It really traumatised you.
Oh, I wasn't even there 2 years.
Yeah, felt like you were there forever.
Yeah. Don't let anyone ever tell you that work shouldn't have a big impact on your mental health, because dang. So for me, that whole time in the beginning of the pandemic was me just getting over that, which is probably good. I had the space to kind of yeah.
See, for me, it just, when I think back on it, it was horrible and obviously it was scary, and I couldn't see my family and stuff. But the main things I remember is reading and just spending loads of time with my son.
Yeah, if you were
wonderful.
fortunate enough not to get someone in your family who got sick, and you didn't lose work or whatever from it, like, as in it didn't impact your ability to.
Yeah, so I was getting paid.
Yeah.
Like furlough. We'd just moved into our house, which had a garden for my son. It was that really hot summer. He just spent the whole time in the garden.
But lots of dog walks.
It also probably affected, like, it made him quite reliant on me, and so we had a lot of an almost
made some attachment.
Attachment,
not too attached. And too attached is never a thing.
No,
maybe his confidence being away from you is more a better way to put it.
Yeah. And especially when you compare it, I know they're different children, but when you compare it to my daughter, she's quite social. She's happy to go to other people, and my son was never really.
It's going to make you wonder, like, how much did that period of his life change the course of things at all? Yeah, I played a lot of Sims. Oh my god, I want to play Sims. I love it when I go for a Sims phase.
Yeah,
it's so.
My son asked me to reinstall it the other week so he could watch me play it.
Okay.
I recently played Unpacking, and it was wonderful. It was such a beautiful game.
I was playing this chicken game when I was at yours cat sitting. Chickens.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a chicken farm.
Yeah.
On my phone.
Like an idle game.
Kind of.
Yeah.
When I got the week I got fired and was cat sitting for you.
Yeah.
Pretty much all I did was lay in the dark watching Modern Family, and doing the chicken game.
Sounds good.
But I lost interest with that one. My problem is I can't. And Sims is the only thing I've ever not lost interest in. And I don't know why. I don't know why that's the only thing.
It's because I think as well with The Sims is you can just leave it and come back to it and just carry on.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah,
they're still waiting in purgatory. It's fine.
Yeah, no one's been like your pet has died, and I'm like, oh shit.
Those poor Nintendogs that are dead, or the Tamagotchis
that
died, all the Neopets that are dead.
Okay, we need to focus.
Sorry, yeah.
Are there any quotes, saying, phrases from books that you now use in your daily life?
Don't think so. Probably some that I do, but don't realise.
Not in daily life, but there's been again.
Okay, you recently got that cushion done.
Yeah.
Where is it? Is it this one?
No, that one I got a new one of the To the Stars That Listen, the Dreams That Were Answered.
No, you got like a.
It's behind there, the black cushion there.
Yeah.
So there's a quote that's in Nesta's book, A Court of Silver Flames.
Or do you know it by heart?
Yeah, I know it by heart.
I know that.
I'm not even trying to excuse myself. It just helped me, and maybe I'm a basic bitch. Who cares? The quote from A Court of Silver Flames is, "I am the rock against which the surf crashes. Nothing can break me." And then there is in Throne of Glass. She said, "It's just this phrase: do not yield," when the character's in like a really bad spot, and I was like, I like that. So I'm just like,
I'll keep that.
I'm having a bad day driving in traffic. I'm like, do not yield!
Oh, love that.
So those, I don't use them in everyday life, but they've been helpful in a general sense. And then there's also Don't Let the Hard Days Win. That's Akamath.
very much the time you read them. You need those.
Obviously.
Yeah.
No, we're seeing why, right? It was like free therapy. It was like, oh, here's things a therapist would say, but fantasy! Fairies! Which author inspires you the most?
I think, like, A.K. Mulford, Stacey McEwen and Stephanie Rose. So they're all indie authors I discovered on TikTok, and I just
there's like
seeing
that
them thrive.
Oh,
Luna Day as well.
Luna Day,
She's doing so well.
There's the guy he just got picked up, but I've been following him for a while. Anthony Theodossi, has he come up for you?
Yes.
He did that series of like things you should do if you really love your girlfriend if she's a bookworm.
Yeah.
Well, he was like, oh, I've got a silly book idea, and then all of his followers were like, more please.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, here's the idea, and they were like, can we read it? And he's like, no, I've not written it. And everyone was like, write it.
Yeah,
You
come
son
on
of a
now.
bitch. So then he wrote it, and he was going for traditional publishing, and I think he's just been picked up from like he drifts on and off my The View page, so
yeah,
I think he's been picked up. I'm like, you know when you see someone, like, he put in the hard graft with TikTok. Once he realised he had a series that did well, and he's like, okay, I'm going to build on this.
And do it,
and was posting at least once a day, if not 3 times a day, to build an audience. It's something I aspire to do and never have the follow through for.
I would also say R.F. Kuang and Ava Reid, because they have both really, like, they're traditionally published, but they have both really fought the battle against their publishing house for not being fair, because they were both under HarperCollins.
With the author of Gilded Ones, Namina Fauna, I follow her on TikTok now. She does a lot of stuff to do with things that were said to her as a black author when she was coming up.
Yeah.
Not things that have been said to her since published, but things that publishing houses said to her. Yeah. And agents said to her. Like, one was like literally like, no one wants to read black fantasy. I'm not even going to read this. Like, that's what someone said to her and stuff. So she had to do the hard graft.
Kimberly Lemming as well, because not only is she now traditionally published, but she writes monster smut. So good job.
Yeah.
Paving a way for everyone.
Yeah, back in the day, not anymore. One of the reasons I wanted to be a writer was the Harry Potter books, because they were the ones that made me love reading, love writing, the whole thing. No, I'm not saying the author is my inspiration. She's not. No. I'm saying the books now. They were the reason I fell in love with the idea of being doing writing for someone else. How those books made me feel when I was younger.
Yeah, I think
that feeling is the inspiration.
The books made it feel accessible for people because it was like soft magic, like set in our world. Yeah, it made it feel like something that you could recreate if you.
Also, just the way, like, those books, the phenomenon of them in the time, before the author did bad things, and the magic of them, I don't know, they revived children's literature at the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, the passion people felt for them is what
more
I was
passion,
like.
more energy.
I was like, what if I could make a book like that? That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, they had midnight releases, and the only books that have had that since then is I'm Flame.
Really? Oh. Okay.
Let's have that kind of passion for some
non-TERFs.
Diverse authors, unproblematic authors.
Which book is your guilty pleasure? I think we've pretty much covered that.
I mean, guilty pleasure isn't really a thing I believe in, so... Yeah. I love this. I unabashedly love the Selection series. It is terrible. I love it.
I love any bit of cheesy fantasy, especially fantasy romance. I don't care how cheesy it is. Even just cheesy romance now. I'm like, you know what? This is just nice vibes.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? Okay. I think we've kind of comfort book / series. I think we've pretty much covered that.
I mean, all of the above.
Yeah. Do we have any funny, unpopular opinions? On book related things, so book series, authors, book top genres.
don't know if I've got any funny stuff. I've probably got a load of unpopular
I do. We're in the camp of all reading is reading, which is kind of one of the things we started the podcast for. So whether you're audiobook, graphic books, manga,
middle grade,
whatever you're reading, all reading is reading. It
romance,
all counts. Yeah,
I do not care.
With no genre snobbery, there's no like format snobbery.
No,
all reading is reading. So I don't know if that's unpopular. There's a lot of people. They don't tend to be on the internet book spheres generally anyway. Or if they do voice that opinion, they get trounced on.
Yeah. Something I'm quite passionate about is that if it's enemies to lovers, it has to be enemies to
Oh, you don't
and
believe in
my
love
triangle is not a love triangle, it's a love corner. Unless the two men are also love triangling.
What are our other ones? I think we do have a few, we just don't remember them. We did do a whole episode on like controversial book things. That episode still gives me a stomachache when I think about it, even though we didn't say anything that controversial.
Probably stuff we would have said normally, but
Yeah.
just because it was all in one episode, is that what gives you a stomachache?
Yeah. That episode makes me anxious to this day.
Yeah, I don't know, and I guess not controversial, but don't change the sizing or the covers of the books midway through a series, thanks.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. This is it. The question is, do you read one book start to finish at a time, or do you have multiple books on the go at once? I think we've sort of covered this. At least what you do.
What's that? I plead the fifth or whatever it is, I don't have to say anything. Follow me on Storygraph.
So, I tend to have at least one audio on the go, one Kindle book, and one book.
One physical.
Yeah, one physical book. Just because
Same.
Kindle's portable, I can read it at night without waking up people sleeping next to me, so that's when I go to stay with my partner. I take the Kindle sometimes. And then book is, I like to drag and hoard books, so therefore I don't have to read them.
Yeah, same answer.
Yeah. Except I do keep it to just one or two of each, max. Someone doesn't do that.
Sometimes the vibes are just not vibing right.
Whereas I will stick to a book, usually to the bitter end. It was real progress for me to DNF Babel when I did.
Yeah.
At 100 pages. I feel that was really good for me.
Yeah, because you never DNF.
No.
When you said to me I might DNF it, I was like, oh, do it.
That was
that
was real growth for me. Because that is a big fucking book, and I was like, this will stall me.
Yeah.
Out.
And you will not read again for life.
I'm sure it's for someone, it's just not for me. I know Babel, everyone loves Babel, but...
Well, no, a lot of people don't.
It was a bit too slow, and all the little notes in the margins.
Too much.
It just wasn't for me. This one's funny. Who is winning in a fight out of you two? I just think we can't be arsed.
What are we fighting about? Wait, words or fists?
Fisticuffs.
Because you're stronger than me. You go to the gym.
Yeah. But I'm also not very good at confrontation, neither of us.
Depends. Are you bad mouthing my kids? Because I will punish you. I will take you down. I have a lot of anger. I don't know if I could...
me too. I don't know if I can... I just can't hold a grudge. I'm not very good at holding a grudge because I kind of just forget.
I'm a little bit taller than you. Maybe I could use that to my advantage.
Yeah, but I've got like the bum.
Yeah.
Like I've got the weight behind me to take you out.
Yeah, like if you like took out my legs, I'd be fucked.
I don't know, me of a few years ago was a lot scrappier than me now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
I was a lot feistier when we
10
first
years
met.
ago, I'd have been like, yeah, me, I would have been so violent.
Yeah.
But now I'm like,
feels like probably what we do is just like not speak for a few weeks and then just start texting like everything was fine.
yeah, probably, yeah.
So who would break first? Probably me.
Yeah, probably.
Probably me, because you just forget I exist for a bit.
Yeah, I would just get so caught up in my life.
And then be like, oh shit, I haven't spoken to Tony in 6 months.
Because literally that happens, like, yeah.
Like, oh, I just texted Tony last week, 6 months ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because I was literally thinking the other day, I was like, oh, I've not seen my other friend for ages. I've really got to arrange something. And I was like, last time I saw her was her birthday in June or whatever. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, if we have the podcast, we used to see each other
Would be like
once every 6 months or something.
twice a year or something, yeah.
Or I'd text you and it'd be like 3 weeks, and then it's like, yeah, I'm free on Saturday.
A little bit still like that though now, isn't it? Except now you've learnt to not be embarrassed by just sending me question marks till I answer. And I'm like, oh, I gotta answer.
Sort of every few days I was like, oh yeah, I text Natalie, and I was like, she hasn't answered, and I was like, but she has been on Instagram, so she's alive. So I'm just like, question mark.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, your voice note was only like 3 minutes long, but literally I started.
It was a bit rambly though.
I started listening to it on like the Friday night, and then I think my daughter woke up, and then I started listening to it when I was in the car waiting for someone to meet me on Saturday, and then I obviously didn't finish it. And then I was listening to it on Sunday at my mum's, and then she started talking to me. I was like, God's sake, it's taking me forever. And then I went and sat in the kitchen by myself, and then my daughter came in when I was responding to you, and just started rabbiting on. Could you hear her in the background? Yeah.
Makes me laugh. I always love when you just start talking and your daughter is like, me too!
Yeah, and like I always forget to like pause it, so you just get to listen to me ramble to my kids for a bit.
I'm fine with it. I'm usually doing something when I listen to voice notes. So I'm just like, I'll just wait for us to come back.
And like if I stop, I'm going to forget to come back.
Well, sometimes you're just like, oh, I'll get back to you in a minute. And I'm like, it's been 7 hours. So I'm just going to like, question mark. But no, it was a really rambly voice note because I was like,
and then I was just like, I confused myself.
I was quite tired on the Friday when I sent it, and I was doing a spate of catching up on voice notes and like messaging people, and you were on my list of like, I know we're due to record soon, so I was like, I need to message her, and I need to do it with enough time for her to not reply to me for a few days. I was like, I need to forward plan this.
Yeah, I need to plan her not getting back to me in time.
Yeah, so I forward plan that, it's fine.
So literally like the morning of, I was like, yeah, we could do that.
Okay. So we didn't really answer that question, but
I don't
draw your own conclusions.
Will we fight? Yeah, we'll fight.
I think I would win just because I've got slightly more energy than you.
I would like.
I get more sleep than you.
I would picture it to be like the fight of Ken in the film when they're on the beach.
Yeah. Okay.
You could just punch me like in the stomach and I'd wet myself, but I'm going home. Screw this, I'm going home.
I mean, you just have to put both of us in a really busy crowd where it's really loud and we'll both be crying, so it's fine. I had to go, when I watch Hunger Games, I had to watch it in London, in Westfield, on a Saturday. And I was like, I really want to see this film, but I really hate that I'm here.
Yeah.
Lots of deep breathing.
Yeah.
I don't know when I stopped being able to cope with crowds. Probably pandemic. But it just never came back.
Yeah.
And I never used to get anxious like that, and now I cannot stand it.
As you should.
Okay. We're nearly done. Congrats on 100 episodes.
Oh, thank you.
What have been your favourite episodes/moments so far? Whampork is still up there for me. I can't even. Whampork is in somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah.
Where we did like build a story, and you had like a made up worm that had a penis on him.
Oh my god!
And then we got really hysterically giggly about how that penis would look on the worm.
It was just stupid.
I think it's because you misread the word vampire, didn't you? That's where Whampork came from.
Yeah.
And then I drew the Whampork.
Oh my god.
And the best thing is, the post-it where I drew the possible penises of the Whampork just lived in my living room for 3-ish months, and not once did my father question it, which really tells you a lot.
I really loved the episode. It was like our 2-part of the first Christmas where we did the D&D.
Oh yeah,
that was a really fun episodes.
Yes.
And there was one of our first ones where we just talked about loads of indie authors we wanted to read, and that just Yeah, I loved that one.
I love our rambly ones, but they,
But I do feel like our ones now are better in terms of we keep on topic.
It's much more structured.
Yeah, I think we're just a bit more confident in it. But yeah.
We have a little scroll through.
Oh, we also did that episode that was romance in quote.
Oh yeah.
Particularly monster romance, and I
I love
like
all
the
of our
smut
smut
talk
ones.
episode. That was episode 69. Still proud of that.
Let's see. I'm having to scroll through because I don't have any memory of what we've done. I like all of our silly on the 10s when we do something silly.
Yeah.
If you're new, every 10 episodes we do something fun and silly, and it's usually something I've made up, and it's entirely on my whims because Natalie just doesn't give a fuck.
You usually make it up like 2 minutes before I arrive as well. So
it's already done on like scraps of paper and post-its.
It's just pure vibes, and we love it.
I'm trying to think. We've had some that were really funny, but they're not like obviously funny looking at the.
Oh, what only funny to us?
The Cracker Box of Truth. I just like that for the title. Yeah, if you're a cracker and you can hit on me at the gym.
Yeah.
These are just my favourite titles, to be honest. Depression Station and Being a Fantasy Bitch. That was a good episode. Yeah.
I like the ones when we're passionate about something we've read because they're just good.
I mean, there's the ACOTAR one, which is called No Attempt to Entertain You. We just talk about ACOTAR, which wasn't supposed to be an ACOTAR focused episode, but it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite like that one. I have no idea if that one stands up. Yeah, I don't know.
And then we've done a couple of deep dives like the Terry Pratchett, the Leigh Bardugo, and Hunger Games, which are quite. Oh, and we kind of, I guess, a little bit, not really a deep dive, but maybe Fourth Wing, but not really because we didn't talk about.
That was
much.
our first one doing a whole episode on one book. Which
it was
we
basically like
before.
one review.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we do that more often? Would you like more dedicated reviews?
Just to one particular book.
Whether or not they'd be structured is another question, but.
Because the Fourth Wing was structured in that I wrote some notes on a post-it about what we wanted to talk about, and then we didn't really follow it. Yeah. And then throughout the whole episode, we just kept going, "What does the post-it say? What was the plan?" Well, you don't know that bit because the editor took that out because he's good at his job. Yeah, we've done some fun stuff. Not very specific.
Right.
I like our manifesting one as well.
I don't think there's any that I would say to someone, "This is the." Watch this, it's perfect. Listen to this, it's perfect. I would just be like, just pick a bunch and see what you think.
Well, we give them funny titles, so I'm just like, just go for the titles. I was like, you don't have to like, so just pick and choose. Yeah, 10 out of 10 to not destroy myself. I just love the titles.
Yeah, I think we've got some good titles going on.
The builder story we did where we were throwing a ball.
Oh gosh,
and it was terrifying you.
Yeah. I'm sweating just thinking about it now. It's like you when you think of the controversial episode.
It's the episode where I make you do sport.
Yeah.
Alright, we're nearly done. Okay.
Thank you everyone for coming through.
Now I think we're done. Let me have a little look and I've got notes in different places. Hold on, guys. Oh, what series of books is finished that you wish you'd have one more book of? Six Crows, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, apparently there is another one coming. But yeah, I would say so too. And the flip side of that, what series do you wish I would stop making? So, Harry Potter.
I mean, Shatter Me was too fucking long. That could have been a few books less.
What about I know you enjoy them, but what about the Cassandra Clare ones? Because it feels like there's a lot in that series.
I have not. I used to read the new ones as soon as they came out. I have not read that new one yet. No.
Twilight. Let's stop, but also keep going. Skullduggery, keep going forever.
Oh yes, Skullduggery never needs to end.
Yeah.
But those books have never gotten to a shit phase.
No.
Like none of the because they do them for the trilogies in phases. None of them have been shit in my head.
No.
Like, there was the one...
And there's no filler books, except for that one that put me in a slump.
You struggled with, yeah. Number 11, wasn't it?
Was it Bedlam?
But I think I'm convinced that was the narrator, though.
Yeah.
The one they switched narrators for.
It was the narrator, I think.
I'm convinced it was the narrator and not the book. But yeah, there's been no duds with that, so as long as that keeps happening, like, until the end, had me on the edge of my frickin' seat.
Until the end, you were on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay. Oh, From Blood and Ash needs to die. There we go, that's one that really needs to fucking die. They started out fun, they were getting progressively shitter, and we need to let it die.
Not even fun anymore.
No, she's done like a prequel series.
What about
Zodiac
Academy?
No, those are alright.
Okay.
Although,
but what about the novellas?
8.5. Slumped
Get in
me.
a bin.
Really struggling with it.
Yeah.
I'm 80% through. It's my Kindle read at the moment. And it's boring. I'm really disappointed with it. I've loved all the other novellas. Love them. I think they add something to the story, although just fun. This novella is boring. I've got a whole bunch of characters I couldn't give a fuck about. Alright, well, that's all the questions. It's terrifying.
That was quite terrifying, wasn't it? I suddenly woke up. Thank you for joining us. Please review and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts. Help us find a big audience, build our community. We really want to be more active in like our Facebook group that we have. We want to be able to do like a book group with you all. So please let us know that you're interested in that. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok to shame me into actually uploading. And if you have any requests or there's any suggestions you have for episodes for next year, because next year we will be starting season 2
and we're going to start planning and stuff soon.
So please come to the website, which is lazybookloverspodcast.wordpress.com, and send us any requests there. You can DM us wherever, it's fine. And we hope you have a December full of reading. Bye. See you next week. Bye.